Alright, in this video, I'm going to be ranking every single style and Blue Lock rivals from worst to best. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and whenever this video hits 500 likes, I'll be doing a giveaway in my Discord server, so make sure to join in the description below, and let's get right into it. Alright, the very first style that we have, and arguably the worst mythical style, has to be Psy, and the main reason why I have to put Psy at the bottom is because Perfect Pass, even though it is a really good move, and you do get a chemical reaction with Shadow, I just don't think it is that good when I can literally just pass to my friend like that. Like, it's not that difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, bruh. Another big downside of Perfect Pass that I would have to say is the fact that it can be intercepted. I don't have a third person right now, so I unfortunately can't actually demonstrate this. Thankfully, it's only going to be an issue with Psy, but yeah, like, just imagine me using Perfect Pass here, right? Somebody is able to intercept it if it's far away. Obviously, if it's close range, it'll be fine, but that's something you should also keep in mind while using Psy. I think after he gets his world-class rework, which is literally dropping tomorrow, I think he's going to be a lot better. And his second ability, Magic Turn, honestly is really good. It's like similar to Rin's ability. Let me also make sure I have no cooldowns on. Forgot to do that. It's similar to Rin's ability, however, it is a lot better because unlike Rin's ability, Magic Turn is actually really fast. Like, most of the time, if I pop Magic Turn and there's like, imagine a bunch of enemies all over the field. If I pop Magic Turn, most people just aren't going to be able to react to that. Whereas if I pop Rin's ability, by the time I'm here, most people are already going to be closing in on me just because it takes a minute to render. Alright, Psy has one of the best awakening animations. I'm not going to lie, bro. Like, let's check this out. The voice line is crazy. The animation is crazy. I just really fuck with it. I can't lie. So anyways, you get 2 new moves and Magic Turn remains completely the same. It's just the same dribble ability. It doesn't get any new changes. You get Heal Flick, which is basically just a second dribble ability. However, it's literally the same thing as Dom Renzo's dribble ability. Yeah, like Dom Renzo gets this in his base. And I get he's a world-class style, and this is probably going to get changed soon. But I think right now as a mythical for Psy, having Heal Flick is just a big disadvantage. I'll just steal it. And the next ability you get... Are you good, bro? Alright, anyways. The next ability you get is You'll Never Surpass Me, and this is your shot move. You'll Never Surpass Me is decent, but it does have the caveat of you need to actually line it up with your enemy, which a lot of the time, if somebody knows what you're doing, it's going to be a bit difficult to do, but let's go ahead and pop it. The animation is really slick, and the animation is getting a rework when it's got a world-class style. I like the current one, and I like the voice line, and the new one, if you guys have seen the sneak, is also crazy. So, like, I'm just hyped for Slide's rework, but for now, I gotta put him at the bottom of the list. Alright, now we're on to Yukimiya. Ignore the fact I'm on a different account. I had to spend like 200 lucky spins to get this. The rates are kind of rigged. But anyways, let's go over his abilities. So first off, we have Lethal Touch, and Lethal Touch is a really good ability. You can travel a pretty good distance. Like, I started around here, and I ended up around here. And Freestyle, this is just a basic dribble ability. You know, I ragdoll him as well. This is really nice, and both of Yukimiya abilities are actually really good, especially for getting around the map. And despite me calling them really good, I still rank Yukimiya at the 5th spot. You might be wondering why. And the main reason for this is because all of his abilities, or both of his abilities, take an absurd amount of stamina. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Hold up. Let me just wait for this to get off CD. Alright, I'm gonna use both of these abilities together. So I'm gonna Lethal Touch, and then I'm gonna Freestyle. And I've already lost like around 70 to 50% of my stamina. It's kind of hard to tell. But in a normal match, I'm also gonna be running. So like, take away like another 20%, and after I'm done using both my abilities, I'll probably have like 10%. So like, in order to effectively use Yukimiya, you need to have good stamina management. If you have that and you're good at holding the ball, which a lot of people don't have, and even if you do have it, why would you use Yukimiya when you can just use another style where you don't need to have any sort of skill set to properly use it? Like some other styles, I'm not gonna name any names, you can literally just press V and then press C and you just get a free go. But yeah, anyways, let me go ahead and pop the Awakening. In his Awakening, we have 3 new abilities, or only 2 new abilities. We get to keep Lethal Touch. I personally wouldn't recommend you guys use this in his Awakening just because, again, I do lose a pretty good chunk of my stamina. And we get Street Dribbling, which Street Dribbling is a decent ability, I'm not gonna lie. But, okay, wow, that's really loud. You can actually lose the ball and he can tackle me. There, he tackled me immediately after. I think there is a split second where you might be able to dribble. I haven't tested that. But even if there isn't that split second, you can actually tackle them in the middle of Street Dribbling, which I think there's a way around that, which you just spam A and D a lot, but like, again, it's just not worth it. Alright, so my Awakening ended, but basically the thing with Street Dribbling is it's like people can tackle you during it, which it isn't bad, but it isn't that good. Like, if you guys watch my other video where I actually did Ubers versus PXG, I tackled the guy using Street Dribbling, and it just isn't that crazy, I'm not gonna lie. But a move that is pretty good is Gyro Shot. This is just a decent shot. I don't really have anything negative to say about it. And when you're trying to score goals with this, it's going to do well against player GKs and AI GKs. Like the curve on it is just really nice. And obviously it is auto aim like every other shot. But yeah, overall Yukimiya isn't trash, but you kind of have to have like a certain type of skill set to properly use it, which is just stamina management. All right, the next style we have, which is number 4, is going to be Shido. And honestly, I know a lot of Shido mains are going to get angry at me for this, but I think Shido is just a really predictable style, and he honestly just doesn't have as much versatility as some of these other styles on the list have. You get 2 moves, which is Dragon Drive and Dragon Header, and both of these are shots, and they're both decent shots. However, I'm not going to lie, Dragon Header is infinitely better because Dragon Drive has a lot of end lag to it, and as you guys can see when I shoot it, it's just a lot slower in pick. Dragon Header just feels a lot faster, and it is just a lot better for scoring. Coupled with that, Dragon Drive also got nerfed a while back where you couldn't turn around while shooting it. So like if I try and turn my camera and unshift lock, it doesn't work. Whereas with Dragon Header, if I turn around my camera and I shoot like this, as you guys can see, like the ZK can't really tell where I'm aiming. So like whenever I'm in a situation and I'm in the box, I never really want to use Dragon Drive, and I always want to use Header. Dragon Drive honestly gets turned into a pass move more than a shot move if you're playing against somebody that isn't an AI GK. Like don't get me wrong, you can use this to score against players, but if somebody's really good at the game, they're going to predict it and it's just not going to be that good. Like if you're playing against a good GK, Dragon Header honestly is one of the best options for scoring, but Shido's just so one-dimensional that I feel like I can't put him above something else like Rin, where he gets a dribble ability and a really good shot ability. Let me go ahead and pop his Awakening, which obviously Shido has one of the coolest Awakening animations, so I'm not gonna lie. And another thing that I feel like makes Shido somewhat worse is the fact that Big Bang Drive got reworked recently, and in order to actually pop the Awakening, the ball needs to be in the air. So like you can't just pop it. This makes it somewhat harder to pop, but like as you guys can see there, it's not that much difficult. But like other styles, you don't need to do anything. I can just pop Rin shot and it happens. Yeah, I probably should have like also maybe not yapped while the animation was going on, but like you guys have seen it before. It doesn't matter that much, right? But yeah, like Shido's decent. He's not terrible. It's just like I feel like he's very situational and he kind of just has one really good move. And he's also very over reliant on his teammates. Like if you combine him with Sai, he's crazy. By himself, he's not that good. Or like he's good, but he's not good enough to be higher on this list. So yeah, let's just move on to the next one. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we have Oliver IQ. IQ being the only defender on the list, I think he being in the number 3 spot just really fits him well. He recently did get nerfed, so like if I pop force if I pop force defense, I can't like instantly get it. I have to actually tackle him, so your opponent can still dribble, but as long as I bait his dribble out. But if you force out his dribble, so like just pop your dribble, and he doesn't have it anymore, I can just tackle him. I can take the ball. Like he can't do anything. So as long as you're good with fainting, IQ is really good. And obviously you do get charge, which is just the second steal. And another big downside of IQ is the fact that he can only really use his abilities on your side of the field. So most of the time you don't want to leave this area. As long as you're in this area, it's really hard for your opponents to actually attack. And just now we have to wait for force defense cooldown, and I'm not gonna lie, it does have a pretty long cooldown. That also kind of factors into this. But just because IQ is a defender, I had to put him in the number 3 spot. Like he's literally the only pure defender in Blue Lock Rivals right now. Let's pop his Awakening, which is really basic, I'm not gonna lie. IQ definitely needs an Awakening rework, bro. Like this looks decent, but I don't know, I don't really like the aura, I don't like the animation. Like it could be a lot better. And his move, his one Awakening move is just Serpent Interception, so just pop your shot. You literally just block it. Like I'm not gonna lie, bro, Karasu has this, Kunigami has this. Like they gotta give my boy IQ a rework. Like right now he isn't that crazy. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we got Rin and Toshi, and I think a lot of people might be surprised at this because Rin is a really slept on style, but it might shock you with how versatile he is. So first off, obviously we got Opposite Direction, which is just your dribble ability. This is really nice, especially if you are an actual striker, because if I'm starting off here, I can straight up just pop this and get past them for completely free, and then I just have to beat the midfielder and I'm right beside the net. And a lot of the times, I don't even need to beat the midfielder. Like I can get like around this area and I can just take a shot, like right here. Okay, ignore the GK saving that. Like, Rin did receive some slight nerfs to his curve shot because before the GK actually got good, you could actually score some crazy shots with curve. Right now, you still can if you work it out properly. Like, for example, something like this. Boom. There we go. Okay, I missed like 5 shots. I'm gonna cut them out because I don't think anybody wants to see that. But like I kind of understand why Rin is slept upon, because this guy has such a high skill ceiling. And like I used to main Rin and I used to be really good on him. You guys would know if you watched my old videos with like my old background footage. Like I used to use Rin a lot. But recently he did get somewhat of a rework, and if you don't mid Rin consistently, his curve shot is really hard to use. But in this video, I'm just going to give you guys a quick explanation of his abilities. So obviously we got his curve shot, which is really nice for shooting at mid range, as you guys can see right there. It does take a bit of time to pick up, but as long as you go into a private server and you lab, you can almost always score this on the AI, and you can score this from crazy distances. I'm not going to lie. Like, Rin was the OG Kunigami, because like, watch me score from here, bro. This is pretty far, right? As long as I look up, boom, I think that goes in. Yup, okay, there we go. So like the first one I kind of sold. Like, as long as you get the hang of it, Rin can be crazy. Like, I scored from like the 4th patch of grass. Like, Rin is just really strong, I'm not gonna lie, and a lot of people don't know about this. He did get nerfed when the GK got smarter, because before, bro, I could literally just go to the penalty area and take a, like, not penalty area, bro, go to the corner kick area and I could genuinely score a corner kick. If you, like, alright. Like, this would go in the past. Obviously, he got kind of nerfed, so it's a bit harder to do stuff like this. But, like, if you know what you're doing, you can still score crazy goals with Rin. Alright. His awakening animation is decent. It needs a rework, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even mess with the aura. In which case, no shots going in, but yeah. Alright, now we're on to number 1, and I'm gonna keep this brief because, like, everybody knew who this was. Everybody knows about this style, bro, obviously. So first ability, we got body block. You can use this a variety of ways. So first off, I can literally just drop the ball, right? So first off, the opponent doesn't even need to be touching the ball. I can still ragdoll him away from the ball, which is kind of brain dead. Secondly, if he has the ball, just see it. I can ragdoll him and actually snatch the ball. So this works 3 different ways, because even when I have the ball, I can get past them, and it doesn't stun 2 people, but it does sort of hit 2 people. Like, you're basically dribbling past 2 people, so this is twice as long as other dribble abilities, which is just insane. And obviously you have the best shot in the entire game. This is better than some awakening shots, if not most awakening shots. You can use this to score from almost anywhere. Alright, it had too much power, and I was half court. Boom. I was around here. You can still score from like a few patches away, but you need to have like specific technique. So it does kind of take skill, but at the same time, like, it doesn't really take skill because I'm scoring from half court. Anyways, let's pop his awakening. The animation is clean. I don't really like the lighting. I'm not gonna lie. That's my one critique. It should have brighter lighting. Aside from that, though, it looks cold. I can't lie. So obviously you get 2 moves. First off, we got Joker. So pretty much whenever the ball's in the air, you just intercept it and then you shoot it. The animation for this is really clean. The lighting is really good for this. I kind of botched that, but like, as long as you have decent aim, most of the time you're going to be able to score this. You can even just intercept this and use it to stop shots from your opponent. And obviously we got Fallen Hero, which you pretty much just need to be behind them, push him back, and then you just take a shot. Fallen Hero is also really easy to trigger in comparison to something like Size Awakening, because you need to just be behind them. Like, you don't need to be in a specific position, if that makes sense. Like, it's a lot easier to get behind somebody than it is to in front. But yeah, that's it for Kunigami. I'm gonna keep this brief. Everyone knows Kunigami's brain dead. He's probably gonna get nerfed like next patch, or like the patch after that, or like, I just hope he gets nerfed eventually, bro, because he's literally like, yeah, I can't even put it into words how good he is. But yeah, that's it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, see ya. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Rayo or Domaz 10 for actually helping me out with this video, and yeah, see ya.